Welcome back everyone. In today's session, I'm going to give you the line-by-line explanation of Macbeth Act 2, Scene 2. Do check the pinned comment section for all important video links related to your syllabus. And I have already uploaded the workbook solutions of Macbeth Act 2, Scene 2. Check the pinned comment section on the description box. Act 2, Scene 2 is one of the greatest in the whole range of Shakespearean drama, and the setting is the same. This scene is being enacted in the court of Macbeth's castle. A little time has passed since the last scene, for Macbeth is actually murdering Duncan as Lady Macbeth enters. Enter Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth, that which hath. What is the meaning of hath? Has. That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. Here, Lady Macbeth refers to the wine taken by Duncan's attendants, the two chamberlains. The wine which has made them drunk has made Lady Macbeth bold, so that she can successfully execute the plan to perfection. And what is the plan? Lady Macbeth and Macbeth have plotted against King Duncan, and here Macbeth is actually committing regicide. That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. So the wine which has stupefied the two grooms, the two attendants, has made me excited, very excited. Hark, peace. Lady Macbeth is startled here. She is surprised by a little noise. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. Now, here she discovers that it was only an owl that shrieked. Lady Macbeth is startled by a little noise, and she soon discovers that it was only an owl that shrieked. And the owl is known as the fatal bellman. And if you get a give reason question, why is the owl considered or referred to as the fatal bellman, what will you write? Here is the answer. The owl crying out before death is like the fatal bellman. And who is the bellman? A person who rings a bell before a dead body on its way to a burial. Owl is considered to be ominous. Owl symbolizes ill omen. Therefore, the owl is called the fatal bellman over here. The owl crying out before death is like the fatal bellman who rings a bell before a dead body on its way to the burial. Which gives the sternest good night, which bids the grimmest good night. He is about it. Who is about it? Macbeth is doing the deed now. What is the deed? The bloody business, regicide, the act of killing the king. Here, Macbeth is murdering King Duncan. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. The servants, the attendants who are totally intoxicated, who are totally drunk, mock their responsibilities of looking after Duncan by snoring. They are neglecting their duties and they are asleep. They are snoring, and King Duncan lies unguarded. And this opportunity is being well utilized by Macbeth. Everything is going according to their plan. I have drugged their posets. Who has taken the role of preparing everything, of making all the preparations? It is Lady Macbeth. I have drugged their possets. I have doped their hot drinks. And what is a posset? Hot milk poured on sack, having sugar, grated biscuits and eggs with other ingredients boiled in it. The whole thing is in the form of a curd. That death and nature do contend about them. Death and nature are arguing over them, whether they are alive or dead. These grooms are so stupefied, they are so intoxicated that death and nature are arguing over them whether they are alive or dead, whether they live or die, they, the groups. This is what is happening in this scene. So we have the atmosphere of horror right at the beginning. It is night, the hooting of the owl, and there is the murderer himself. He is about to kill his victim, and there is the cry of the crickets later. All nature seems to be throbbing with emotion here, as if made conscious of the crime, of the moral anarchy that overtakes the world of man as well of nature. There is complete reversal of moral order after the murder of King Duncan, and the setting is engulfed with horror, tension and suspense. Macbeth within. Who's there? What ho? Macbeth cries from an inner room. He probably loses control over himself and gives a loud exclamation, fancying that he hears a noise. Who's there? What ho? Alack, I am afraid they have awaked, and it is not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. If the deed remains only an unsuccessful attempt, that is, if Macbeth is not able to murder King Duncan tonight and it is just a failed attempt, it is not completed, it will naturally lead us to our ruin. Here, Lady Macbeth is worried. She is anxious. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. What preparations did Lady Macbeth make? Number 1, she drugged their possets. Number 2, she laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. Here, if Duncan had not resembled Lady Macbeth's father as he slept, she herself would have murdered King Duncan. So here you get a character analysis of Lady Macbeth. Dramatically, some revelation of her better and gentler nature from which she had deliberately cut herself off is necessary over here. Otherwise, the audience should regard her as an absolute monster, incapable of feeling any remorse afterwards. And we will see that just like Macbeth, Lady Macbeth will also suffer due to the pricks of her conscience. She too will lose her self-control. So this quality of hers, the better and gentler nature, will reveal itself later in the play, and this is significant. Now, here we have one important thing to discuss before moving on to the next section. The scene, the crisis of the action is presented with great intensity over here. How to present murder in a drama was a problem that troubled the ancients. If done on the stage, it was too horrible, and if reported by a messenger, it was too weak. In this supreme scene, Macbeth Act 2, Scene 2, Shakespeare has solved this problem. We see the murder as if it was mirrored in the souls of the two characters, in the souls of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Actually, we do not see the murder of King Duncan on the stage. See, Macbeth is within. The actual murder does not take place on the stage. It takes place outside the stage. In Act 2, Scene 1, I had mentioned this. Do check the line-by-line explanation of the previous scene to get a better idea of this. Keep this in mind. The murder is not committed directly on the stage. Enter Macbeth. My husband. For the first time, Lady Macbeth calls Macbeth my husband. It is only here that she refers to Macbeth as her husband. I have done the deed. Macbeth has committed regicide. Didst thou not hear a noise? Here, Macbeth refers to the noise that had startled him when he earlier cried within. Lady Macbeth, I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Here, as I told you a little while ago, owl screaming, crickets crying, all these things show that moral anarchy overtakes the world of man as well as of nature. Did not you speak? So, the cricket's cry is proverbially a sign of death, and owl is also ominous. Didst not you speak? Macbeth, when? Lady Macbeth, now. Macbeth, as I descended, so Lady Macbeth, A. Macbeth, hark. Who lies in the second chamber? Donalbain. This is a sorry sight looking on his hands. Macbeth shudders to see his hands smeared with blood, stained with blood. Here comes the motive of bloody hands. In my workbook solutions session, I have discussed the motive of bloody hands. A foolish thought to say a sorry sight. It is foolish to think that Duncan's death should be regretted. There's one did laugh in his sleep and one cried murder. That they did wake each other, I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep. Whom does the word them refer to? The reference is to Malcolm and Donalbain, who both slept in the next room. They woke each other up, said their prayers, and again prepared themselves to go to sleep. There are two lodged there. Macbeth. One cried, God bless us, and Amen the other. As they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Hangman's hands. These hands covered with blood like those of a hangman. Listening their fear, I could not say Amen. Important. When they did say, God bless us. While Macbeth stood listening to their cries of fear, they cried Amen, but Macbeth could not join in their prayers. This is significant. After the murder of King Duncan, Macbeth loses his self-control. Regicide takes a profound toll on his conscience. He feels the pricks of conscience within him and he loses self-control. After the murder of King Duncan, the innocent Macbeth is gone and he cannot even pronounce Amen. Macbeth is mentally agitated. He is filled with guilt and remorse, and that he feels he needs or even speaks of God's blessing on his deed is an astonishing revelation of his frame of mind at this moment. He is mentally agitated. This is the impact of the murder on Macbeth. Lady Macbeth, on the other hand, remains self-composed. She is strong mentally, but Macbeth loses his self-control. You must notice, you must observe and mention this contrast between the two characters in your answers. Consider it not so deeply. Do not take it so seriously. Lady Macbeth tries to soothe her husband over here, but he is once again a prey to his horrid imaginings. You must keep this thing in mind here. But wherefore could not I pronounce Amen? This is important. He is once again a prey to his horrid imaginings. Macbeth has vivid poetic imagination, and as a result of his vivid poetic imagination, he is in the grip of hallucinations. He hallucinates. And then we have, these deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad. Inwardly, Lady Macbeth also feels that if they think too much about these deeds, these foul acts, these criminal acts, this will make us mad because of a gentler nature. She has deliberately cut herself of her gentler and better nature in order to make Macbeth in order to help Macbeth to become the King of Scotland. But inwardly, she also knows that if Macbeth carries on like this, they both are going to become mad. So here we have the concept of sanity and insanity. But wherefore could not I pronounce Amen? The agony of the cry shows the misery of Macbeth's grief. The innocent Macbeth, I have already told you, is gone. It is he who now cries out for the last time, almost with a shock of surprise. Wherefore could I not pronounce Amen? He has crossed the river of crime, and he looks with wonder at the gulf that separates him from his former self. He is completely corrupted now. He is a corrupted soul, and he will not find any peace of mind. He has bought his kingship with his peace of mind. This is significant. Macbeth. Methought I heard a voice cry, the mysterious voice. In the Morning Star workbook, Xavier Pinto, you have a question. Mysterious voice. What all does the mysterious voice tell Macbeth in his hallucination? Here is the answer. And dear students, I have written this answer. So again, go check the pinned comment section for the workbook solutions session. Methought I heard a voice cry. What is this voice? Macbeth's poetic imagination asserting itself in this voice as his conscience, inner voice. Sleep no more. Here begins the concept of sleeplessness. Macbeth suffers from the doom of sleeplessness. Having committed the crime, Macbeth's imagination is again captured by the horror of the crime. We must not brood over the deed in the way or it would drive us mad. But who is listening to all these things? Macbeth is preoccupied with his hallucinations, with his poetic imagination. He feels that a voice cries out, "Sleep no more." Here, Macbeth has not only murdered a sleeping, trustful man, he has murdered sleep itself. Duncan was the sleeping, trustful man, and by murdering the innocent, sleeping, trustful Duncan, Macbeth has incurred upon himself the curse of sleeplessness. Macbeth does murder sleep. He is the murderer of his own sleep. He is the one who is guilty of such a deed. The innocent sleep. Here, sleep is personified as the innocent sleep. And what is the function? What is the importance of sleep in the life of a person? Why is sleep so important? Sleep that knots up the raveled sleeve of care. What is the meaning of this? That composes all worry and destruction and knits up, ties up in an orderly manner. Raveled, it's knotted, entangled, and sleeve is coarse silk. Silk in a raw, coarse, unwrought state. The metaphor is this line has been taken from a tangled mass of raw silk which has to be straightened out before it is fit to be woven. Now, what is the meaning of this? The voice, this mysterious voice cried out, "Sleep no more." Macbeth is murdering sleep itself. I think I shall never again be able to enjoy innocent sleep. Sleep that composes and soothes the cares of the mind. Sleep with which terminates the activities of the day. Sleep that brings relief to tired people and is a soothing balm to their strained minds. And sleep that is the natural restorer of spent up energies, and sleep is also the chief sustainer of life, like the second course in a feast. This section is important. The death of each day's life, that ends the activities of the day as death ends life. So after the day comes to an end, we sleep and we wake up fresh in the morning, and morning symbolizes a new beginning, a new day. Sore labor's bath. What is the meaning of this? Which refreshes a man after hard labor. Sleep refreshes a man after hard labor, just as a bath brings a feeling of freshness after exhaustion. And sleep is also the balm of heart, the balm of hurt minds. What is the meaning of this expression? That soothes the mind and rids it of all feeling of pain and worry. Sleep is great nature's second course. Sleep is referred to as the second course because it was the second course at the meals that was supposed to give greater nourishment like sleep. And sleep is also the chief nourisher in life's feast. The major restorative agent, sleep is represented as the second course in life's feast. Like the second course in a feast, sleep is the major restorative agent, and henceforth Macbeth will suffer due to the lack of sleep. Therefore, he will remain agitated. He will never be able to refresh himself because he will not be allowed to fall asleep due to his guilty conscience. Here Macbeth is troubled. Lady Macbeth, what do you mean? Macbeth, still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house. This voice, sleep no more, echoed throughout the house. Glamis had murdered sleep. We know Macbeth is a thane of Glamis according to the prophecy of the witches. Therefore, Cawdor, he is also the thane of Cawdor. According to the witches' prophecy, shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more. Here it seems that Macbeth has assumed these three titles: Glamis, Cawdor, King. It is implied that after the murder of King Duncan, Macbeth will become the king. So Glamis, Cawdor, King, these three titles, these three personalities are related to Macbeth, and as a result of these thoughts and temptations, Macbeth shall sleep no more. It is the consequence. So his sleeplessness is the result of all these things, of his succumbing, of his surrendering himself to the temptations, to the witches, the evil influences. Lady Macbeth, who was it that thus cried, why, worthy thane, you do unbend your noble strength? Here, before explaining this section, let me just tell you, Macbeth has already started feeling the effect of retribution. And in these lines, Macbeth refers to Glamis, Cawdor, and Macbeth. Glamis had murdered sleep, the rest being Macbeth's comment. The voice denounced on him as if his three names gave him three personalities to suffer in the doom of sleeplessness. So, all these things are now a part of his personality. You do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. In thinking so feverishly of what has happened, you are unnecessarily giving way to nervous terror. Go get some water, instruction, and wash this filthy witness. Filthy witness? The filthy witness are the blood stains on his hands that are a witness or sign, physical evidence of the murder of Duncan. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? Another error committed by Macbeth. First, he is losing his self-control. He is uttering such incoherent words, and this shows his frenzied outburst, emotional outburst. And the next mistake is that he brought these daggers, the blood-stained daggers, from the bedchamber of King Duncan. This is also a workbook question, and I have solved this question, so check the workbook solutions session. They must lie there. According to our plan, the daggers must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood so that the guilt will be on the two grooms. It will seem that the two grooms committed regicide. Lady Macbeth is sufficiently composed to attend to the practical details of murder. Unlike Macbeth, another contrast between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Important. So if you are asked to make a contrast, compare and contrast the characters of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth in Act 2, Scene 2, what will you write? You will show this contrast. Lack of self-control of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's self-control. She attends to the practical details of murder. She has planned, she has tried to plan a perfect crime, and what is to be done must be done according to her. She has no imagination. Macbeth has poetic imagination. So, till now, she is not in the grip of hallucinations. Macbeth has poetic imagination and therefore is in the grip of hallucinations. These are the basic differences between the two characters till now. Later, Lady Macbeth will also slip into such a frenzied state. But now we are only concerned about this contrast as it is in your syllabus. Macbeth: I will go no more. No, I will not be able to return to that place. I am afraid to think what I have done. So here he confesses that he is afraid to think what he has done. Look on it again. I dare not. An important quotation. Effect of guilt on Macbeth. The daggers must lie in the room in which the murder has been committed. Therefore, Lady Macbeth wants Macbeth to carry the daggers back to Duncan's room and smear the sleepy grooms with blood. Her practical matter-of-factness speaks much of her callousness also. But Macbeth says, I will not go back again to the king's room. Macbeth is unstrung by his imaginative terror. Keep this in mind. Imaginative terror. He is distraught due to this imaginative terror. The contrast between Macbeth and his wife is nowhere more marked than over here. So this section is really important. If you are writing an answer on this, you will have to quote from here. I will go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again. I dare not. I do not have the courage. And so Lady Macbeth accuses him of being infirm of purpose. She had previously chastised him of having too much the milk of human kindness, and here he is infirm of purpose. Macbeth is afraid even to think of what he has done. How can he have the nerve to return to the scene of murder? So infirm of purpose means weak in resolution. Lady Macbeth takes to rebuking, chastising her husband in order to instill some courage into him. This is another question, another workbook question. Give me the daggers. Everything is not going according to plan because of Macbeth's imaginative terror. He has brought the daggers out of the scene of murder. Therefore, the daggers must be returned to the place. Hence, Lady Macbeth starts chastising Macbeth. She is not happy with him. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. It is the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. Now, the sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. The sleeping and dead are no more to be feared than painted pictures. It is the eye of childhood. Only a child is afraid of the painted devil. If he do bleed, He, King Duncan, I'll gild the faces, I'll stain, smear the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt. This is her plan. This is an important section of her plan. What will she do? If he do bleed, if Duncan still continues to bleed, she will go and she will paint the faces of the two chamberlains with Duncan's blood. To gild is to paint with gold, and blood was sometimes spoken as gold. It was Macbeth who put forward the proposal of smearing the chamberlains in Act 1, Scene 7. Go check Act 1, Scene 7, and there you will see that it was Macbeth who put forward the proposal of smearing the chamberlains with blood, so that the blame of the murder might pass on to them. So Lady Macbeth's words are a taunt at Macbeth's weakness that prevents him from acting now. Exit. Knocking within. There is another knocking. This knocking is important. Another workbook question already solved. Do check the pin comment section. Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What is the matter with me? Every noise. I am dismayed by every noise. I am greatly shocked when every noise appalls me. What hands are here? Blood-stained hands. Again, Macbeth looks at his blood-stained hands. He is filled with remorse and horror. Ha! They pluck out mine eyes. Horror. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? Macbeth feels that all the water of the ocean cannot wash away the stains of blood from his hands. He is corrupted forever. The innocent blood he has spilled has gone deep into his conscience. Sticking of blood to his hands, therefore, can be interpreted as symbolical. His conscience is corrupted. His soul is corrupted. Neptune, the god of sea. No, he knows that this is not going to happen. No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas in Incarnadine. No, the bloodstains on my hands cannot be cleaned by all the water of the seas. In fact, this hand of mine is more likely to turn red the innumerable and infinite seas by turning the green of the water into one mass of red. Multitudinous seas, the countless masses of water on the surface of the globe. Incarnadine, to turn blood red and making the green one red, changing the green of the sea water completely red. So this is, here Macbeth is brooding over the enormity of the crime. Regicide is a sin. The king was considered to be the representative of God on earth. So regicide was considered to be a sin. Re-enter Lady Macbeth. Here Macbeth was alone on stage. And again, re-enter Lady Macbeth. My hands are of your color. My hands are as blood-stained as yours. When Lady Macbeth returns, after smearing the chamberlains' bodies with blood and placing the daggers in Duncan's room, her hands are also stained with blood. But she will feel ashamed if she has a heart so white like that of Macbeth. What is the meaning? But I shame to wear a heart so white, to carry within me a heart so timid, just as yours. Here, Lady Macbeth chastises her husband for acting like a coward. So, why does she chastise her husband? Write down. Because she is annoyed with him, for he is acting like a coward, for his cowardice, cowardly nature. Knocking within, I hear a knocking at the south entry, at the south gate. So what must we do now? Again, her practicality. Retire we to our chamber. Let us retire to our chamber. Let us go back to our bedroom and pretend to be asleep. Lady Macbeth keeps her cool and displays great self-control and alertness to save themselves. Why? From being discovered. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? See how easy it is. Your constancy hath left you unattended. So again you are vacillating. It is very easy. Go and just clean your hands. A very ironic remark. The stains may be washed away by a little water, but how is a heart going to be purged of the sense of guilt? And later in the play, even Lady Macbeth will realize that it is not possible to wipe out these blood stains. But here she tells Macbeth, just a little water clears us of this deed. So go and wash your hands and there will be no evidence against us. Knocking within. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. So Macbeth's usual courage has deserted him and left him defenseless. Therefore he must go and put on the nightgown, a kind of dressing gown, a loose garment worn in the bedroom and not in bed. So lest occasion till watchers. If we must go and put on our nightgown, because if we are called because of something happening, it must appear that we have already been sleeping. It must not appear that we have been already awake. It was necessary to put on the nightgown. In Macbeth's time, both men and women went to bed in an exclusive covering that was worn only in the bed. But Macbeth and Lady Macbeth wore at this time ordinary dress. They were wearing ordinary dress and therefore they had to put on their nightgown. Lost so poorly in your thoughts. Do not be so preoccupied with your disturbed thoughts. To know my deed, it were best not know myself. If I must know my deed, then it would be best for me to lose all knowledge of myself. Again, Macbeth's agitated frame of mind. Macbeth, after this, knocking within. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I would thou couldest. Wake Duncan. So this is a heart-rending outburst of repentant agony. He is repentant over here, but he knows that Duncan will not wake up. I would thou couldest. Macbeth now wishes that his deed was undone. But unfortunately, what is done cannot be undone. The pathetic confession of his inability to pray over here and his remorseful awareness that sleep has forever deserted him raise the audience to that pitch of pity and terror which fulfill the ultimate purpose of a tragedy. Here, the audience, the members of the audience are filled with pity for Macbeth, and they are also filled with terror for Macbeth, because his deed, his crime will soon be discovered, and this serves the ultimate purpose of a tragedy. Remember one thing, Macbeth is a tragedy, and here Shakespeare has deftly incorporated remorse, guilt, fear, terror in order to elevate this play as a tragedy.